Okie dokes. Up next I have a 97 4Runner, and they say it starts up, then dies, and then it grinds while shifting first to second with an oil leak. Ruh-roh, I bet it's broken. Here's the 4Runner. Let's try to duplicate their concern and see what this thing does. Ooh, it's hot in here. It appears that it does have an oil leak. And an exhaust leak. Oh, there she goes. And the starter's dragging. That's not cool. Whoa! Oh man, okay. Might be here for a while. Alright, one more time, let's try it. One last time and then it will start. Nope. Almost. Okay, I smell hydrogen from the battery, so it's time to stop for a minute. I'll come back later and try again. So you broke it more.
I did.
You broke it the mostest.
The most.
It lives for a second. We're gonna break it a lot.
Yeah.
I had to push this thing into the shop. This is attempt number 54 to start this car. Nah, this starter's fried. Time to install a diagnostic starter. Once we get it to crank, then I can see why it doesn't start or stay running. When there are more bottles of oil on the floor than the system contains, that could be a bad thing. I also found some fuel system cleaner, so they've been making an attempt to keep this thing alive. Let's finish the job today. Oh, it's not ideal. Where is this starter motor? I didn't even look for it yet. Aha, there it is. Down there. Love to get this from the bottom side. It's not exactly there, but we are reaching Exxon Valdez status. I call this the Self-Lubricating Chassis Mod. Wow. That's enough screwing around though. I have to get this starter out so I can get this engine to crank. Shouldn't be much trouble. There's just two 14mm bolts and a battery cable wire, and it'll pop out going forward. There's plenty of space to remove it. don't do this without disconnecting the battery. All right, two 14mm bolts, and the unit should come right on out. That one. All right, and one more up there. There it is. So that's it. The starter moves now. It's almost ready to come out. This is a pretty easy one. Nope, not yet. A couple more threads. That's got to be it. Yep, here she comes. There it is. I remember they brought this truck in, it doesn't stay running, but we saw earlier it won't even crank anymore because this starter is smoked. So I need to install a new diagnostic starter so I may continue. My parts delivery shelf is empty. Hey, what happened to my starter? I can't install any parts if my parts disappear. Okay, after additional scientific analysis, I have determined that the parts store guys have taken this part back with them as a core because it had a core sticker on the box. It's on its way back now. I will proceed when it returns. Seeing as how I don't have any parts right now, I'm gonna take this opportunity to clean off this oil slick down here because they would like this diagnosed later as well. I will begin engine degreasing now. Might be here a while. Hey, the parts guy is back. That's what happened. They look similar. Not cool. This oil leak is even worse from the front side. It's leaking everywhere. Okay, well, first things first, let's get the starter in. Come on, new one. Here's the first bolt. I can reach this one easily, so I'm going to thread this one down to hold the starter motor in place. Ooh, already starting to feel some muscle fatigue just holding that thing up. Incoming wobblies. Boy. And this concludes the installation of the diagnostic starter assembly. It's got turd wheels. This is interesting. That must go in there. There, I fixed it, look. All fixed. Okay, little Toyota. Show me what you're working with. Let's try this again. Okay, it cranks now. Alright. I suspect a fueling issue here, so I'm going to install some auxiliary fuel source by spraying brake clean into the intake. And we'll see if it runs on that. Come on, little Toyota. Okay, it runs on brake clean, so we have a fuel issue here. check the fuel pressure. It's what we need. The master set. Okay, 14 and a 19, yep. There she goes. This fitting's a little crusty. This fitting is a lot crusty. Wow. Come on. Come on. Almost there. I see shiny threads. Okay. This is the adapter for the fuel pressure tester. Yeah, this fitting is still crusty. It's just does not thread smooth. All right, I'm gonna crank if you guys watch the gauge. £76, okay. Okay, let's go check fuel pressure specs. Okay, so here's the deal. I was getting, I forget what, 60, almost 70 PSI fuel pressure here. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's not the problem. What I've done so far was I threw a new battery in there and tried to crank it a couple times, and it gave me up a focus and read, P1310 igniter circuit number 3. This involves the ignition coils. So I'm gonna pay a little bit of attention to that real quick before I move towards anything that's fuel related at this point. These don't look so hot. All of them are fouled and fuel soaked. So I don't think we have a fueling problem. Okay, I pinched off the return line for the fuel, and because I'm thinking perhaps this regulator is stuck open and fuel is just flowing through and it's not able to build any pressure. Therefore the injectors don't have fuel pressure in order to spray the fuel. So I'm gonna block this off and see if I can't artificially build some fuel pressure for the injectors, and we'll see if it runs now. And here we go. A little bit. Okay, we're kind of getting somewhere. All right, I think I hear an intake leak during those brief moments that it ran. I'm gonna go ahead and get the smoke tester and fill this intake full of smoke just to inspect it for leaks. Oh, there's one right there. There. Good thing we have a fresh battery for right now. If you guys aren't familiar with this machine, it just it makes smoke out of, I believe, baby oil, and it'll pump the smoke out of this tube under pressure and into whatever you're trying to detect a leak with. And when the smoke comes out, that's where you know you found your leak. So I'm just gonna go in right here. Okay, we can see it coming out of the tube and into the intake, and now I'm going to inspect for leaks. All right, I don't see any smoke making its way out of this intake, nothing at the gaskets or the fuel injectors, none of the lines. So I'm going to go ahead and say that a vacuum leak is not our issue unless the brake booster has a leak. So I'm going to block this off next and try to crank it again. This is the vacuum source hose for the booster. If the booster diaphragm has a leak, it'll have a vacuum leak through this hose, and again, we'll have unmetered air entering the intake stream, and it may not run. All right, I'm starting to get a little stumped here because everything is testing okay, but it still just won't run, but for more than half a second. So I broke out the big boy scan tool, and I'm going to take a look at engine data and see if I can't find a PID that sticks out to me. I haven't found any data that's sticking out to me. Before I started, I cleared the DTCs out of it. There were a few that I had induced by unplugging various sensors like the mass airflow. I unplugged an injector to check injector pulse. A couple cranks later, in this P1310 igniter circuit number 3 fault code came up. I did not want to go there. I'm going to go ahead and focus around this at this point because everything else is checked out okay with this engine. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and ask for a couple ignition coils. There's only 2 coils for this. One coil runs 2 cylinders, but I'm going to ask for the pair of coils. I'm going to put coils in it, and we're going to go from there. I had a set of coils ordered for this. I pushed this one out and parked it, and I'll bring this back in once my parts arrive. My ignition coils have arrived, but I don't have any more space to work on a car in the shop, so I'm out to the parking lot to toss these coils in, and we're going to see if this old 4Runner is going to live. All right, here's our 2 coil packs. I'm going to make sure I don't get these wires mixed up because they are specific, and I'm just going to unplug them, unbolt them, and install the new ones. Naturally, I'm going to do the easiest side first. Break those loose. Oh, the sun just came out and I just got a little warm. These look about the same, so I will disconnect one wire, connect it, disconnect the second wire, connect it, maybe, no, there it goes. That into position right there. This is one of those cars where it's been worked on so many times that no two fasteners are the same. Oh, I found a fan shroud that's not tight. Ooh, just screw that in real quick for this guy. It's gonna go. Come on, this is free. Like I said, this thing's been worked on by probably everyone in town. There. Okay, back to the job at hand. Coil number 2. This one might be a little tougher to reach because that other bolt is way down at the bottom. I actually might have to take the bracket off to get to that one. Maybe not. I'll try it with a ratcheting wrench first. If I can see it, I can probably reach it. Uh-huh. Yep, I can get it. Come on out of there. Almost. There it is. Again, same procedure. Pop one wire off at a time and then place it onto the new coil. There's one. And let's orient the new coil properly. That looks good. Okay. There's 2. Here it is. Plug those in, 1 and 2, and this thing should start right up. Let's get all the goodies out from under the hood so I don't lose any tools. Time to begin ignition sequence now. Alright guys, here goes nothing, because the key doesn't turn. Crap. Flip it over, there we go. And live. Alright. It is alive. Okay, brought this thing back to life. Alright, there's one other complaint with this thing, and they said it grinds while shifting, so I'm going to take it out for a ride. Hopefully I make it back, and we're going to see if we can't duplicate a grinding while shifting noise. It's got an exhaust leak noise. And here we go. Alright, we're rolling along. First acceleration, it didn't feel that good. It almost felt like it started off in second, and it almost felt like it was slipping the whole time. I'm going to keep driving around to see if I can't get a feel for how this trans operates. Yeah, it felt like I was going to die just then. That might just be shifting into fourth gear. Okay. It's got a pretty nasty pull to the right when you brake. And the brake pedal is very, very mushy. Let's go ahead and start again from a full stop. Yeah, I don't think this thing has first gear. Let's try to manually do it. Yeah, the first gear on this thing's pretty rough. Whoa, there it is. That's a first to second shift, and it shudders bad. Wow, let's do that again. All right, down and low. Yep, there's some shuddering and slamming. Second. Whoa, that was wild. Okay. We have a transmission problem. So starting off in drive again, let's see if we can get, yeah, it doesn't even have first gear, it just slips. We'll try it again. Brake warning. There it is. Right at the 1-2 shift. Second that time. All right, I'm gonna recommend that since this thing moves under its own power again, and that we're not into it for a whole bunch of money right now, I think we should stop, because the next plan of action is going to be to pull this transmission out, have it rebuilt, install the rebuilt unit, or install a new unit if they're even available anymore. But I just don't think that this truck's worth that kind of money. But you never know. Some people will spend they'll spend what they want to spend on their ride. Wow. Hey, what do you know? The check engine light went out. Not bad. I guess that's fix confirmed for those ignition coils. Yeah. Excellent. Red light. We have one more opportunity. Green light. do it one more time, I'm gonna try to record the rear view mirror so you can see just how much this thing shudders. I'm sure you guys can hear it, but I'd love to get a visual representation of that condition. Okay, here we go. That one wasn't good enough. We're gonna try again. There's a good one. All right, I think you guys get the point. I know you can't feel it, but I think you can see it, and I'm sure you can hear it. All right, back at the shop, I'm gonna check that fluid real quick, and then I will report the destruction that we have found. After a couple of days of deliberation, the owner has decided not to repair anything else on the car, which I think is the right decision. I apologize. I never had an opportunity to film an ending to this video, but I'll make up for it in the link above. It'll take you back to one of my first videos ever, and one of my favorites. And don't forget to have a great day.